Here we go then. Carlos Sainz over the line for Williams, and he goes up to 16th, so he's in, but barely for the time being. What about his teammate Alex Albon? Can he go ahead of Carlos Sainz? No, he is out of qualifying, and only 17th fastest for the Thai driver. Charles Leclerc currently 9th fastest. He goes up to 8th fastest on the medium compound tyres. Here is Esteban Ocon, who got his one and only Grand Prix victory here 5 years ago. Where is he going to be in 2026? Well, 13th for the time being. What about his teammate Ollie Behrman? Only 14th at the moment, ahead of Fernando Alonso, who's yet to make Q2 this season. He's hoping to hang on to that spot in Q2. Lindblad stays 11th fastest for Racing Bulls. What about his teammate Liam Lawson? Rounding the final corner, where does the Kiwi go? Was 10th, stays 10th, but he should go through to Q2. Here comes the Audi of Nico Hülkenberg, who goes 6th fastest. Amazing lap from the German in the Audi. We're on board now with Valtteri Bottas in the Cadillac. Where is he going to put his car? Only P21 for Valtteri Bottas. What about his teammate Sergio Perez? Stays 22nd. The bottom two rows for the two Cadillacs. Alonso over the line, 14th. At the moment, he's on for his first Q2 appearance of the season. At the same for Aston Martin. Strolls out, he's pitted. Colapinto is a driver at risk as Gasly goes 13th fastest. So it's Colapinto or Behrman to get into the top 16. Here comes the young Argentine. Can Colapinto make it? Yes, he can. 14th fastest for Franco Colapinto, and Fernando Alonso makes it through to Q2. Well done to him and to Aston Martin. Those upgrades are helping them.
Maybe a bit more to come the next set. Let's go. Yeah, that's fine.
So Behrman, Sainz, Albon, Stroll, and the two Cadillacs of Bottas and Perez, the first six to drop at the end of Q1 here in Budapest. Q2 about to get underway in just a few moments. Isaac Hadjar coming through turn 12 now. He's gone wide, clips the gravel, oh, and round goes Isaac Hadjar. He was on for a good lap there, and then he spins round, but he manages to keep going. So at the moment, Hadjar currently at the top of the times, but that will change. Bortoletto goes up to 9th, puts himself in Q3 at the moment, but there will be others to try and beat that. What about his teammate Nico Hülkenberg? Can he get into the top 10? He can. 7th fastest for the Audi driver. Here's Liam Lawson in the Racing Bulls. He goes up to 8, pushes Bortoletto out of qualifying. Alonso's pitted. But P12 for Alonso, that's a good effort from him, but surely others can better that, as can Lando Norris, who goes to the top of the timings by 0.4 of a second. Kimi Antonelli is currently 6th fastest at the moment, safely into Q3. Lindblad goes ahead of him in P6 now for Racing Bulls. What about Esteban Ocon in the Haas car? Can he pull off some magic and get his car into the top 10? No. Only 13th fastest for Esteban Ocon. What about his fellow Frenchman Pierre Gasly? Coming up to the line now for Alpine. Can he get into the top 10? No! Misses out by 79 milliseconds for Alpine. Can Franco Colapinto, his teammate, make it in? No, 13 for him. Charles Leclerc is currently in drop zone, but can he get into Q3? Of course he can! P2 for Leclerc. So Lawson, Gasly, Colapinto, Bortoletto, Ocon, and Fernando Alonso out as well. Max Verstappen, who got his maiden Formula 1 pole position here 7 years ago. He may not be in the fight for pole today, but we'll see where he can end up at the end of this qualifying session. 17.7 for Max Verstappen. Will that get beaten by the Australian Oscar Piastri? It will, by 41 milliseconds, and it also could be beaten by this man Lando Norris, who's been quick all weekend long here, matching the Ferrari pace. No oversteer, coming out to the final corner, but it's still enough to put him on provisional pole. What about Isaac Hadjar in the Racing Bulls? Sorry, the Red Bull, he goes up to 4th fastest. Does the young Frenchman. Lewis Hamilton, purple in the first sector, who's got the most poles in any Grand Prix circuit of record-breaking 9 poles here in Budapest. He might make it 10 if he can nail this final sector. His personal best in the middle, purple in the first. Can he find pace in the final sector? Bit of oversteer there, but can he put his car on pole? Antonelli is 2/10 off the pace of Norris. Leclerc is saying personal best as well. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. Can he beat Norris? He does! By a 10th of a second. Lewis Hamilton in the moment puts himself on provisional pole. What can Charles Leclerc do? He goes third, 2 tenths off his teammate. What about Kimi Antonelli, the championship leader over the line, only fourth fastest by the championship leader? Now it's down to George Russell in the other Mercedes. Where is he going to put his Mercedes car? Only P7. But George Russell, Mercedes, who have been on pole every race so far this season, are not on pole right now. Hamilton not improving in the first sector, neither in the middle. So Hamilton's not going to improve on his provisional pole time. One man who could improve on that is Kimi Antonelli, who's going to post the best in the first sector. Charles Leclerc also not improving on his lap. Neither is Max Verstappen. So Hamilton at the moment sitting comfortably on pole unless somebody can beat it. Verstappen's not going to improve on his lap time, or he might, but we'll see what happens in the final sector. Hamilton doesn't improve on his time. What about Leclerc? He's been on pole here last year. Can he get on pole again this year? No, only third fastest. But Charles Leclerc round goes Max Verstappen at the final corner, and he spinned it right at the end, spinning at the final corner. Antonelli went through that. He improves his time but stays P4. Will he be investigated by the stewards? But Verstappen spin, and Russell has backed off of his lap. Hamilton on what moment on for pole unless Lando Norris can beat it. Norris is purple in the middle sector. There's a yellow flag waving somewhere on the track, but we're focusing on Lando Norris coming up to the line. Is it pole? It is by 12 milliseconds. Lando Norris proves why he is the reigning world champion, and he takes pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah! Gorgeous. Good. Well done, boys. Girls, thank you very much. Russell comes to a halt.
That's right, George Russell has grounded to a halt at turn 1. Something went wrong to his Mercedes. He stopped before he even got to the pits. And this is what happened to Max Verstappen. He's had a snap and then spun the car at the final corner. Oh, and that's Oscar Piastri getting held up by Lewis Hamilton.
Yes. Right, Lewis again.
Yeah, Lewis might be investigated for holding up Oscar Piastri. If Piastri gives him the sarcastic thumbs up going down to turn 2. And this is Kimi Antonelli. Yeah, I think Antonelli will get away with that. He might have had a small lift going into the final corner. He might be investigated, we don't know. But I think Antonelli might get away with that. But it's a first pole of 2026 as a world champion for Lando Norris, and the first driver to take pole in a car that's not a Mercedes but a McLaren. The first non-Mercedes pole goes to Lando Norris, and he will start on pole for the final Grand Prix before the summer break. McLaren are so bad.